This is Grandmaster Gambadella with a nice skill set you need to know to become a great MMA fighter, and that's how to use the ring. It's an amazing thing to watch most MMA fighters who have no idea of how to use the ring to their advantage. In fact, I doubt that most MMA fighters who have not been fighting for more than a couple of years have any idea actually to how to use the ring. There are several things you can do in the ring to help you win the fight. And in this article I'm going to discuss some of the better ring techniques and how to use them. Number one, use the ring to cut off your opponent. Cut off the ring. That means you have to step into your opponent. Don't follow him around in a circle. And when your opponent tries to circle you, if you turn in a circle, you get no advantage and he achieves his goal. What you have to do is step when he steps. He starts to move to the right, you move to the right. You cut him off by stepping directly to him and into him. This forces him to stop circling, and instead he'll have to move to the left or right, and then you can do your techniques. When you learn this technique, you'll be in a power position in all situations. You won't be walking around in a circle where you can't punch or kick. Your opponent will always be in a weak position. You can and should use this in a street fight or in an MMA fight, and you can force your opponent into the corner or into a wall and win the fight. The second technique is to keep your opponent off balance. By this I mean the only fighting position your opponent will ever see is one where you are in the most powerful attacking position. When you are in a strong power position. You do this by keeping yourself directly in front of your opponent's middle section. To find his middle, you draw an imaginary line between his legs and you come out to 12 o'clock. I'll go into details on this in the book I have. This is a balanced position, but the point is from here you'll be able to punch or kick properly and your opponent will not be because he is being kept off balance. You control the ring by keeping your opponent off balance. Now the third way to control the ring is to force your opponent into the corner. If you're fighting in a square ring, it's a lot easier. If you're not, it'll work in a round ring just as well. What you have to do is you actually use the ring to force your opponent into the corner by walking him down. By not letting him go to the right or left, by walking towards him and pushing him, and you're going to finally back him into the corner where you can rain down punches and kicks on him. You kick or punch or drop step your opponent into the corner of the ring wall. You do this by delivering hard punches and kicks in rapid succession and driving him back to the wall. You can literally take him down or at least nullify his punching and kicking ability by having him against the wall. Now the fourth way to use the ring is to keep yourself near your corner, to allow you to hear instructions from your coach. This is especially important if you plan on going to the ground, because most of the time the coach will know more techniques than you know and see openings that you can't see. And if you're in the opponent's corner, he's going to be getting the teaching and not you. It's always a good idea if you can put someone down on the ground and do it in front of your own coach. In golf, Tiger Woods always places his first tee shot to get, not for the most distance, but to give him the best angle for the next shot. A smart fighter takes advantage of the ring and his position in the ring, especially when he's on the ground, to be near his coach so he can get instruction. Now the fifth way to use the ring is to run away to avoid heavy contact and being taken down. This is not a technique that is appreciated by the crowd, and it will not get you on the UFC main event if you're only running away. But if you're winning a big fight and in the third round you do want to run away, or you're a little winded, you want to rest, it's not a bad idea to use the ring to avoid your opponent. I don't mean just turn your head and run, but you must move in and out, step back, try weak shots or something, just keep busy and back off. There are lots of ways you can run away to avoid being hit and still win the fight. You know, if you'll practice learning these techniques of ringmanship, you'll have a much more effective and better MMA game, and you'll win a lot more MMA fights if you know how to control your opponent in the ring. This is Grandmaster Gambadella. I'll see you next time.